All right, so today I'm gonna talk about my uh, animal guessing app. So for the code part, we have three sections. Our opening screen, which is displayed on the right here, and then the game screen, which will be asking user several questions, and the question screen will handle these questions and display them. So and then we have the graphic for the home screen and the graphic for the questions. So let's look at the game screen. Let's look at the opening screen first. So I've wrote some internal documentation. However, they're pretty brief, as this thing isn't much of the whole code itself. So we have imported a lot of packages. We set up a class for opening screen, and then we create a variable to call this to get to this opening screen called intent. And then we click on this, and then we also had to set an on-click listener where we proceed to the game screen, which is right here, game screen. So for the game screen, again, a lot of package imported, and we set a class for game screen, a lot of initialization for display, and then right here we have a variable called question. So question, the question would take, where does it say? Question would take the game screen inputs, game screen variables, and this section is again checking for clicking and from different buttons. And then later we'll talk about the select position function in question. This basically there are 5 buttons, and whichever button the user click on, the input from that one will be passed on and then selected to the first option, um, which you can see. These are the variables that will be referenced later. And then to start this whole process, we have to call the starting point question.start point in the question class. So here's the variable. Here's the function that returns. So at the end of the game, it will return back to the home screen. This will be called later. So home screen. Oh, one sec. Home screen return function. All right, so let's look at the questions now. So again, a lot of packages. Then we have the class, which we take the game screen as the input, as a value, an unchangeable value. So these 5 are the variables for the buttons, and these are the variables I will explain later. But these currently are unused. In the final version, I'll use these to actually determine the user selection and how they results to the final results. Currently, it's just not really doing anything. I just put it there, and this I'll explain. So this is the so let's look at overall first. So overall, to start the whole thing, we'll just say start point, and this is where we start. So it will first give an instruction to the user, and then one button offered to user where they will proceed to a 500 millisecond pause, so that they will make sure that it wouldn't proceed 2 pages ahead or 3 pages because there's a bug. This prevents it. And then we hide all the other options. And then what did I just do? And then we set the question one, the next section. This is the question one as the pass through for the button. So again, this is the first question. It is displays. These are the second question, and so you can see that sometimes the values are invisible because it's a true and false, or it doesn't require that much inputs from the user. So again, question 3, 4, 5, all the way to 8 are the question I'm going to ask the users. Why is it not scrolling? There we go. And then when it gets to 8, um, in the final version, it will based on index, which are referenced here, to provide the user the final choice. But currently, it's in beta version. I'm only showing how it would work. So when we get to 8, 9 and 10 are displaying the results. We would ask user, is this your character? is um, this your character. So and then if the user said yes, it will return to the go title screen, which is basically restarting the whole thing. And then if it's not, here are the select position, which I said I'm gonna explain. So whenever the text input over here, we'll reference this to this class. Sorry, these functions, which will be over here, and that's how we would able to call from here to whatever we want to have. So this is how the select position work. And then again, it is a string, so that that referenced here. So we would set string to these variables, and then these variables store here, and then we reference those variables um, in these, and then pass to question dot select position, and then we'll call these. So that's how it works. That's the main logic. And this whole chunk right here is just for the 500 millisecond pause. This is very technical. I used ChatGPT for this. I have to be honest. And everything else, I've done my own research. I learned Kotlin myself. And so for this set visible, so every time these runs, let's say if I invisible all the three options here, everything, let's say I invisible option here. For the next one, if I don't set these, they would also auto invisible these two options. So I'm setting this to restart every time so that it will work. So let's look at the how the game will perform. So let's start. This is run on AVD, so it's gonna be a little slow. I click start. Come on, why is it so slow? Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. Wow, that was very fast. That was actually very fast. Damn. Okay, I'm being sarcastic. Anyway, so this is the instruction, and then we can proceed. So first question, and then we just answer randomly. Currently, there's no back end logistic behind this, so it's really how it would work. So again, 8 question. Let's answer them. So when we get to question 8, if we say yes or return, if we say no, it will go to question 9. Sorry, go. This is question 9, and then if it says no, it goes to question 10. Uh, I guess something's not right, but I'll make sure it's working for the final project. So if we say yes, give it like 5 seconds, maybe more than 5 seconds, because computer is really slow. Come on, please work, bruh. It was working when I tested it. Now things are slow. Wait, how long is the video? Let me make sure it's in time range. 8 minutes. Damn. Um, okay, I'll do a separate video on the full working version, but right now it should work. It's my hardware issue. I apologize for that, but yes, that is for the video. It's quite long, but due to my special circumstance, I hope you can understand. So thank you so much.